All right, it is 6:30. This is Tuesday, August the 12th, and we are going to start our public safety meeting. Scott, go ahead.
Roll call, please.
Garfield.
Here.
Mensch.
Here.
DeWitt.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Peterson.
Here.
Pence.
Here.
Rolfs.
Here.
Bro.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
9 present.
There any public comment for the committee meeting? Seeing none, I don't see other Eric here for auxiliary.
No, he's not.
I'll just go by what he's got here. They had their meeting on August the 5th. Everyone attended. One person moved out of state and resigned. They did ride-along training, and they reviewed the schedule for the Family Fest. Next, we'll have Chief Byer and the Fire Department report.
Good evening, Council. For the month of July, we had 51 calls for service, 5 fires with the 2 first responders, 26 EMS calls. We had 7 NVAs, or motor vehicle accidents. Automatic alarms, we had 4. Auto aid calls, we went once. And then for other, we had 6. Our numbers were down a little bit this last month, which was kind of nice. So the training for July, we did brush truck operations one night, did our annual SCBA Mod B. We did Mavis tent drill, which is putting up the Mavis tent. We did that with the county, so that works out good for mutual aid training. We did a hazmat refresher, and then we went ahead and did a hands-on hazmat decon procedures. That was for the month of July for training. Personnel, we do have a new firefighter. His name is David Parmenter. He's a new graduate. He was part of our cadet program that we started a couple years ago, or I should say we implemented and got moving forward. He's looking to take it kind of serious. He wants to make it a profession, so that'll be enjoyable. Seems to be a good kid. He's very quiet. Hopefully we'll change that. But with that being said, he just turned 18, and he graduated high school. He's got a clean record, and I'm hoping to bring him in front of council maybe next meeting and introduce him. Was hoping to do that with our newer firefighters from this point forward, start bringing them forward, so as a council and everything, we can properly swear them in. Is there any questions about that? No? All right. Nothing to report on equipment. Miscellaneous. ISO will be coming in September. I got an email here a while back, so they'll be visiting the fire department September 29th. So we have a long list of things that we're going to try to get through, so when they come, for those that aren't maybe completely aware or truly understand what ISO is, it's it's an insurance company rating basically on the fire department side is what it is. They're going to come in and they're going to grade us on, there's 3 major categories that they will grade the fire department on in order to give us a score. The score is a 1 to 10, 10 being the worst you can get, 1 being the best you can get. Now the 3 categories is they look at the water system, they look at the dispatching, and then they look at the fire department. Obviously 2 of those out of the 3 are kind of out of our control. I know with Lauren, what he did a couple years ago when he had that third-party company come in and basically he flow tested every hydrant in town and had them painted. That was a huge plus. That's going to work out in our advantage, which we are also able to put in our pre-plans. With that being said, we're sitting at a 4 right now. I'm hoping maybe possibly we can move to a 3. A 2 is not out of the question. I'm going to go meet with Braidwood Fire Chief here this next week. They just went through the ISO process. ISO is not new, but the problem you run into is depends on who the person is that's coming down to do the grading. And what I mean by that is they can variance or they can maybe look at things a little bit harder than others. So it sounds like we got the same person that they got, so I'm going to go meet with him. He's been through the process a couple times, and he said this last time was a little bit tougher than the last couple times he went through it. No real rhyme reason why. It could have been the person that came down and did the grading. So I'm going to meet with him. Hopefully we can get ourselves on course. When the results go out, we won't know for several months what our rating is. But hopefully if we can lower our rating, that will help with business and homeowners insurance. That's where they get their fire rating at. So the lower our numbers, the more you're going to save on your homeowners insurance living in the city of Watseka. So that's the big push with a lot of that. Is there any questions with that?
What's the scale on that? You said we're a 4 out of
10. Yeah, so 10 is the worst. 10 is basically just saying you have a department and you do absolutely nothing. That's the reality of it. And there are those departments out there. Some of it has to do with funding, population. There's a lot of factors that come into play. We are a 4, which is actually pretty impressive for being a paid on-call department. Now we've implemented some staffing throughout the day. That's going to help us when it comes to pulling some of the runs, because what they look at is response times, or actually from the time of the call to the time on scene are some of the major things they look at. We also implemented a few things that we didn't really do before, which is more the public education side of it, and also the inspector side. We were not doing any of that before. The fire investigation side is something else we weren't doing that now we are doing on our own through certified people. So hopefully these are things we will get points for that we were not doing before. So I know in the past we were sitting right there on a 3, so hopefully we should be able to drop down to that.
Nice job.
If there's no more questions on that, the only thing I got to kind of put out there is our Mavis 37 golf outing is in September. It's a fundraiser for the county for our Mutual Aid Box Alarm Association. And one other thing I have is pork burgers. We're going to do a pork burger fundraiser again. The date for that's going to be September 27th until we sell out. So if there's no other questions, that's all I have.
Scott,
All right.
Scott, Chief, I want to thank you on one thing at the fair, the public demonstration you did on the 1050. I didn't get to see it, but I got to hear it because I was sitting in the pits the whole time. A lot of people talked about it. I actually got to talk to some of them people the next day. They thought it was very interesting and very educational. I want to thank you for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Next is Police and Fire Commission. I got a text from Nida today saying she had nothing to report and she was not going to be here tonight, so we'll move on to Chief Starkey.
Good evening. Calls for service for the month. We had a total of 372 calls, 45 traffic stops, and 22 bookends at the jail. That was down 10 from last month, so a little bit of price savings there. Kind of like Chief Byer said, relatively slower month compared to July, so that was nice. Lateral hire, we were accepting applications for lateral hire through August 1st. Didn't really get the response I was hoping for various reasons, but actually today I did speak with somebody in particular who is going to submit an application, so hopefully that will be a potential, a hire there maybe in the next month or two. So something to at least.
How many spots do we have?
Pardon me?
How many spots are we filling?
Well, we just have the one from Lieutenant King's retirement at this point. So, so I mean, at least it's something for us to consider. Other than that, there was number 3 was an ordinance for the that Shane had asked us to consider amending to include some wording for code enforcement to be able to take some action on some junk vehicles. We have been working on that ordinance. I did have it prepared to give to you tonight, but in talking with Shane this morning, there's actually maybe a couple other revisions to another ordinance that he thinks need to be that needs to be looked at. So instead of we're just going to bring it all at once as opposed to in parts. So he can talk a little bit more about that maybe. And then under miscellaneous, again, not too much. Chief Byer and I have been talking about doing some training with the fire department. So we were talking about getting into the old school before it gets tore down, and then utilizing the drone when they do some training out at the out where the, what do you call that?
The training cans.
Yeah, the training camps. So yeah, but he thought it'd be good to get the drone out and get it up in the air and utilize it during some of their training. So Lieutenant Harris and Sergeant Marcotte can take it out there and use it there. Then lastly, just a little update on the tasers. They are here. I know it's been kind of some discussion and a long process, but we do have all the equipment in hand. Reuter has to come and do some internet things for us to be able to get all the equipment working properly. But Sergeant Marcotte did go to some training last week to come back and certify all the guys in the use of those tasers. So when we do set that up, if anybody wants some entertainment, we can certainly give you the date and time and let you come watch. But so yeah, that's all I got. If anybody's got any questions.
Thank you.
Let us know if anybody wants to volunteer for that.
I volunteered.
Mark, do it.
Again?
Mayor, go first.
No.
So, that's all I got.
All right, any other inquiries from the committee members? Nothing. Do I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Okay.
we're going to call the code enforcement meeting to order at 6:40. If I can have roll call, please.
Bro,
Here.
Rolfs.
Here.
Pence,
Here.
Peterson.
Here.
Garfield.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
DeWitt.
Here.
Mensch.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
9 present.
All right. Next is public comment. Is there any public comment? All right. Don't look like there's any public comment. And now we have Kyle. I'm going to butcher your last name. Okay. With Unit 9 Schools.
Thank you very much.
Make sure that
I
mic,
will be
make
short
sure that
and
mic's
sweet.
on, Tor, please. Make sure that mic's on.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be short and sweet. I really just wanted to kind of put a name to the face for those who I don't know. My name is Kyle Nevels, and I'm in a little bit of a unique role this year. I am Watseka High School Principal Assistant Superintendent for the district. And then at this time next year, I will take over as Superintendent for Unit 9. It's a little bit of a homecoming for me. I had been here previously as assistant principal in the same building, junior high, senior high. Had the opportunity to step away and grow and have come back. And I'm on fire in the best way possible. One thing about me is I really believe that schools are a cornerstone for a strong community, and vice versa. A strong community is a great support to the school. So it's my intent that you'll see me at your meetings, you'll see me at our town events, and I want to continue to build the partnership. And so, Mayor, thank you for extending the invite. Like I said, just wanted to put a name to the face, and so as you say, hey, who's this guy that keeps showing up at our stuff? That would be me, and I'm looking forward to it. I am very grateful for the opportunity. Have great students, great community, great families, and I feel very lucky to be in the position that I'm in. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For all you do.
Absolutely.
You were well liked, and I'm glad you're back. So
Yes.
you're well
We
respected,
heard good
and
things about you.
glad to have him back. So it's good for us.
I will admit that when my first meeting with him was at our project there in front of the school. He wasn't dressed in a suit, so he looks older now. But at the time, he looked to be about 15, so I thought he was lying at first, but no, we're happy to have you.
All right. Is there any questions for him? Okay. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Eric Brandt for his report.
Thanks, Nick. So tonight we've got Gabrielle and Amy with Reactivate Solar. They're looking to develop a solar project here east of town near the Walmart. So the thing is, we need to know from council, are you guys interested in this project? Yes or no? If yes, then we're going to proceed probably to council. You'll have an ordinance to vote on, and then we'll go from there to a pre-annexation agreement, I believe.
Okay, thank you. If I may give you a little bit more information about the project to help inform your decision. My name is Amy Antonioli. I'm with Errant Fox Schiff, and I'm here on behalf of Reactivate and Gabriel Ariza, who's the development manager for this project. We call it RDC Illinois North. The developer company's name is Reactivate. And we are developing the project in partnership with the landowners, Ronald and Kira Barker. Not here tonight, but Gabriel can give you a little introduction to them as well. He will also give you an introduction, more of an introduction and details about both Reactivate and their parent company, Invenergy, both headquartered here in Illinois. We are here to request approval. It's a 2.85 megawatt solar project, and there are 3 sort of zoning related requests that we would be making, and so that's why we're here to introduce it to you today. The first would be an annexation. This is because the solar project is located on 2 different parcels. One is within the Iroquois County, unincorporated Iroquois County, and one is within the city of Watseka. And so to include them both under the same authority having jurisdiction to permit the project, we would request that the city of Watseka annex the 1 parcel. The second request would be a variance request, and that is because the code allows solar as a special use, but on parcels that are 40 acres or larger. And this project is on 29-ish acres. Am I right, Gabriel? You can correct me if I'm wrong. And so for that reason, we would request a variation from that code requirement. The third would be a special use permit. And we have submitted all 3 requests: the application for special use, the annexation agreement, the draft that we used, the form that we received from the city's attorney, Joe Kanker, and we also submitted a variance request. So those materials you may have reviewed already. I can review them in more detail, but what we wanted to do more so tonight is just give you an introduction to the project, and Gabriel's has prepared some slides for you to do that. So if it's the right time, would you like to begin your
Hey,
presentation?
Mark, would you get a couple lights, please?
Any questions first?
Help the other ones.
Okay.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, I can.
Feel right having my back to you guys. I apologize. All right. While Amy's doing that, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Gabriel Ariza. I'm the development manager for Reactivate and responsible for the coordination of this project. I'll be using my time to provide an introduction of our company and provide a quick overview behind the application.
Thank you.
For special use permit. A bit on my background: I've been working in the solar industry for 7 years, with the bulk of my time in project management and development. I've been with Reactivate about 3 years. I've been working in the solar industry 7 years. I'm a Midwest native. I grew up in rural Wisconsin, earned a degree from DePaul University in Chicago, and currently reside in Northern Illinois, where I've lived most of my life. Next slide. Amy. Oh, one of the arrows? Yeah, okay. About Reactivate. Reactivate is a community solar company. It's based in Illinois that's focused on developing, owning, and operating renewable energy solutions that aims to provide quality of life improvement in the communities it partners with. Reactivate was founded in 2022 with some time in the making prior to that. Reactivate currently has 6 operational solar farms in Illinois, 1 in New York, and hundreds in the pipeline. While my focus is on Illinois, Reactivate is currently operating across the United States. On economic impact, in 2024 alone, Reactivate has invested $11 million in local suppliers and contractors supporting local job growth. Reactivate was founded by Invenergy. Invenergy is a large-scale global developer and operator of sustainable energy solutions, meaning natural gas, solar, wind, storage, clean water, hydrogen, and transmission. Invenergy's been in operation for over 20 years, has developed over 30 gigawatts of large-scale energy generation. To put that in perspective, that's about enough to power 12 million homes. So it's a lot of power. Invenergy has 210 sites completed or in progress worldwide, around 10 projects in Illinois, and Invenergy is also based in Illinois. Next slide, please. A quick tutorial on how solar energy works. Sunlight hits the solar panels, creating direct current. And direct current flows from the panels to an inverter that turns the current into alternating current. A meter measures the amount of solar energy produced, while transformers regulate voltage amounts. Electricity then travels through distribution lines and gets delivered to customers. Next slide, please. And how community solar works. Renters, homeowners, nonprofits, and businesses subscribe to a portion of the solar farm's energy production. The generation tie line will connect the solar facility to the grid to power homes across the region, which I explained earlier. And subscribers would then receive an electricity bill at a lower cost. The project location, as Amy mentioned, it's located off the south lane of East 1850 North Road and west of the intersection with County Road 2280 East. It encompasses 2 parcels, about 29 acres total, near the east side of the city limits. Next slide. Okay, yeah. So some project details and features. It's 2.85 megawatts in size, so that's about enough to power about around 600 homes. There are no adjacent homes to the site. The nearest home is about a quarter mile west on North Road. On the environment, a Department of Natural Resources report has already been completed and found no adverse effects likely to the local ecology. And prior to construction, Reactivate is planning to perform a phase 1 environmental site assessment, a level 2 wetland delineation study, and a stormwater pollution prevention plan to ensure minimal environmental impacts and compliance with the law. We plan on using a native seed mix used on the site. A pollinator scorecard has already been completed with the Department of Natural Resources. And on noise level, the current design exceeds the pollution control board rule by having the equipment pad around 150 feet from the road, and 50 feet is the standard for this equipment type. There are no emissions from solar farms, and won't be any light pollution. There won't be any light needed. The drainage systems will be identified and cared for before, during, and after construction, as well as during decommissioning. There will be minimal traffic on the site. Standard size tractor trailers, flatbed, and box trucks, they'll all be standard size with an average of 20 total deliveries during the entire construction period. There will be continuous real-time remote monitoring of the facility once in operation by our in-house operations team, and an emergency response plan will be created specifically for the project, and we'll be working with you all on that. There's a decommissioning plan already in place, along with an intent to sign an impact mitigation agreement with the Department of Agriculture. It's designed to restore land to its previous state and protect any existing drainage patterns and infrastructure. And the code also asks for a financial assurance of $2,000 per acre, so we would be complying with that. I have roughly estimated that the additional tax revenue would be around $472,000. There will also be local community workforce benefits. So as part of Reactivate's mission, Reactivate intends on hiring a local workforce whenever possible, such as laborers, electricians, civil workers, and machine operators. This is a picture of a project that we have near Chicago Heights. It's relatively the same size. And these guys are optional. So if you want them, we'll be happy to supply them. We work with United Agrivoltaics, Farmers Association that helps with the sheep grazing, as well as all the vegetation management. Amy already kind of mentioned about the application packet. That was submitted last month, so it's our hope upon review that everything will appear in good order and in good standing for your approval. I want to thank you for your time, and I will make myself available now and at all times for anyone who might have questions or during the review process today and in the coming days. So thanks again for all your time. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
How do you maintain that 50-foot setback?
How to maintain it?
Maintain it. You mow it, or your sheep take care of it, or
Yeah, that's
what?
Your code right now requires some trees to be planted around the entire perimeter. There's going to be a fence, and when we would mow it, the exterior side of the fence, and inside we would either use sheep or just mow, or a combination of the two. So, and we would work closely with you all to make sure that we have the type of vegetation management that you want to see there.
The 5 acres or whatever it is up in the upper right-hand corner, that belongs to the Cemetery Association?
Yeah, it does.
There is no present easement, or not easement, but entrance or way of getting in and out of there. I think they're using the other field where your solar is at now. Do you anticipate putting an entrance in for them? Culvert with a gravel drive or something, or is that going to be their responsibility?
Is it being used right now? 'Cause when I was over there.
Well, it's farmed right now.
Yeah.
But it looks like the equipment is coming in off the field here that will become the solar area if you guys go ahead with your project. So that 5 acres, they got to go through the ditch and stuff, so they're going to have a culvert and an entranceway put in.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that was going to be your responsibility, or is that going to be theirs in the future?
Well, that's something I can certainly look into. I wasn't aware of that, and I can certainly check, with our team about that and see if we can support it. There will be some level of support, whether we actually build the road for them or help facilitate that. I'd have to check.
Yeah, I don't know what would be required, but I don't think it'd be a whole awful lot.
Yeah.
Just to get farm equipment in and out
Yeah.
over the ditch is what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
And then the third thing I had in my list is, if you notice the Walmart property, on the east side of Walmart property, they have a sidewalk that goes all the way north to the property you're looking at. Would
Yeah.
you be extending that sidewalk for people to use, or is that going to be left to the city or somebody else to do in the future?
That's also something I wasn't aware of, and I'd be happy to look into that and get back to you on that.
Them streets are pretty heavily used today with Walmart out there.
Yeah.
And some people ride their bikes. I've even seen a few wheelchairs trying to make it out there, because we have a couple senior citizen areas over here. And
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get them off the road.
Sure,
So
sure.
Nice to plan a little bit ahead for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can I personally, I don't see that as being a major hurdle. I
Okay.
think that's something we
Just
can
something I
do.
wanted to ask us all.
Yeah.
So
I
we
have a
got
question.
it out there now, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
So the energy that was harvested is gonna be delivered to the homes in Watseka, in our community, or is it gonna be delivered to somewhere else?
That is tends to be something that would be our first approach to
Okay.
but there might be a combination where there may be an organization, a company, a business that wants to make use of that particular energy production, and we could do a mix, or where there's subscription services for the local folks, while at the same time brokering a deal with the business. So that's kind of how it tends to work itself out.
And there are two components to the energy that's generated from a community solar project. There is the actual electron that's generated from from a clean source like solar. And then there's the green attributes from the project. So the actual electrons go to the grid, and if you think about it like water, you can't really control where those electrons go once they reach the grid, but they're more likely to be used up by people that are local in the community, but they could reach other areas outside of the community. The green attributes, the subscriptions to their project, which Gabriel is talking about, can be offered to people in the community, and they in turn get a financial benefit from it. So they'll get a discounted energy bill, or it could be some local, commercial industries in the area as well. But those are the kind of the two benefits from a project like this.
Okay. And then also, because I know because I know nothing about like electricity. I just want to show that it's safe. Then it's not gonna having any like if there is an accident and stuff like that, it doesn't have some type of dramatic disaster that happens within the community. So I mean, it's just solar power, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it won't be like anything.
It's
Like
not
a
like
big
nuclear.
fire or something like that, or like a batteries type of stuff.
No storage related to this project.
Okay.
Nothing planned to go
Okay.
in terms of energy storage. The solar panels themselves, and now for these projects, will they be on an axis, so they'll be rotating?
They do rotate, yeah.
Okay, taking advantage of the sun as it travels through the sky, and then they will have an emergency management plan, as Gabriel described, working in direct communication with emergency responders in case anything should happen. But you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's no additional new equipment that the emergency responders need
Okay.
in case of an emergency at the site.
It's very basic equipment.
Okay.
It's not very complex a solar system, and we do monitor it regularly, because if it's not producing energy, then it's a problem for everyone. So
Right.
so if there's an inverter failure, for example, we would know relatively quickly, and we would get out there and have it fixed.
And what are you looking like, creating job-wise? How many jobs do you think that it's going to create for the community?
I don't have an exact number
Okay.
on that.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, but it is part of our mission statement to hire locally.
Okay.
So if you have, electricians or union members that have worked in civil work, or have worked in solar, those are the folks that we're gonna want to talk to first.
Okay.
There is a kind of a bidding process. We need to make sure that people are qualified to do the work. But we've had opportunities in other projects in other counties where there are folks from the local union that have shown up to our hearings, and we've gotten their phone numbers and plan on using them for that bidding process.
Okay.
Why did you choose the area that you chose?
Well, a lot of our search process is about hosting capacity. So if there isn't any, like if there's no ability to tap into the grid, then it's not something we would look at. So here there is an opportunity to tap into the grid. There's capacity for this size of project.
How much of the 29 acres is the city responsible for?
Of the two pieces here, the smaller half of that is in the city limits now. I'd say maybe like a third's in and 2/3 is out. I don't have the exact acreage here.
I guess my only issue is the fact that, we've got retail going out there, and we have industry out there. We're just running out of space. And
Terry, if I can interrupt, Chief Buyer said that's about 7.5 acres.
okay.
Are we going to receive any revenue off of that?
The tax revenue, yeah,
No,
that's
revenue for rent of the farmland, of that,
the
of, not of
landowners
that
would
property.
be, yes, the landowners would are receiving,
What-
income from it.
To how much, do you know?
Uh,
Is that in the lease? How long have we been talking about this? And why do I feel like there's a rush to make a decision tonight?
I don't think there is possible to make a decision today. We do need to have a public hearing, in which case we need to provide a newspaper notice, and this was just an introduction.
Okay, sorry, I missed it. I thought you had said we need to make a decision earlier, and that's why I was asking that, so.
Yeah, that's council's recommendation. Are you guys in favor, or you just
And I only asked that, so I've been
a no to the project? And
having a lot of discussion about this on a much larger scale, and this is a pretty small
It is.
solar farm, honestly, right? I mean,
It's community solar, yeah.
Yeah.
right, and our discussions have been a year in works. So it's been a long discussion, a lot of work with the
Operational
farmland that
lifetime.
we have,
Mm-hmm.
with Prairie View organization, so, okay, so we are not necessarily rushed, although, I mean, you would love to obviously start operation fall of 25, I see, but we don't have a necessarily push to get that done at this point.
they've been talking to us for close
Wow.
to a year now?
You have been,
Yeah.
okay, and I know, cause I'm the newer, but you guys have
we're
been here
new,
older.
so that's
Yeah.
why
Been
it's
here longer, you're aware of this and have been talking about it for a while.
John, previous mayor, John Allhands had brought it up a couple
Yes.
times, yeah.
Mhm.
We've never
Heard
got
about
into
it.
it at this depth.
Okay, the
We
lease
never-
agreement with you, who has that? Here?
Well, that would be with Barker's, right?
Yes,
So none of you have ever seen the lease agreement?
No.
No, it's
Okay.
between the property owner and
yes,
Them,
And the project.
yeah.
yeah.
It states here that
There's
their
a-
operational lifetime says 35 to 45 years.
Right.
Yeah.
I assume that's the solar panels and stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's how long the lease is. It's 35 years with 2 5-year options. And there's a memo, a recorded memo of the lease as part of the application package.
And I know Joe's been working on this, is more a council question, 'cause I know Joe's been looking at this. There's another attorney that we've been working with who's from out of Champaign, and he's been working with a majority of the farmers in Iroquois, Ford, and these counties on both solar and turbine. I might suggest this working with him because he's very familiar with the multiple different solar companies in the area. Just something for us to
Are you referring
To
to
talk
Andrew
about.
Kite?
Harold Adams.
Oh, okay.
What name did you say?
Andrew Kite.
I think I've heard that name too, but Harold Adams is the one that,
this tax revenue you estimated, is that over the lifetime of the equipment?
Yes, sir, yes.
So over 35 to 45 years, that's the estimated income to the city,
35. Yeah.
35 years.
I mean, unless your tax rate changes, you know.
I see you said additional revenues. So this is above and beyond what the farm is paying today?
Yes.
There's a standard valuation that the Illinois Department of Revenue has established for solar energy facilities, and it does give you sort of this calculation that Gabriel uses to calculate over the lifetime of the project. Barring any changes to the statute, that would be what you would see from the project. That goes to the different taxing bodies.
Correct.
And then I would say too, the only other change we've encountered recently at the federal level has been a sunset to the tax incentives. So we're seeing the need to initiate construction, reach substantial completion by certain dates that just weren't the same before, a couple months ago.
Yeah, we would love to get started as soon as possible, but, you know, we certainly don't want to ram it down your throats, you know?
Yeah.
We want you all to feel good about the decision, you know, and answer any questions or concerns you have. And Don's questions, I'll get back to him on that right away. You know, I'll look into that as soon as I get back to work, you know, tomorrow.
can you elaborate on the decommissioning? I'm curious on that, and you mentioned that. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, what the plan is? How deep soil, how much soil removing, replacing, tile damage, just elaborate on that.
Yeah, well, there is an impact mitigation agreement that we will sign with the Department of Agriculture, and they have, I have a copy of it with me, and we can also submit it to, as part of the application. It details, essentially restoring,
We're done with that, right?
everything back to its previous state, you know, and drain tile, that's very important to us, so we will be performing a survey to make, even if the landowner does or does not know, because often they may not know, and so we'll determine where it is, and we'll contract with experts, drain tile experts, to mitigate any damage to that or reroute it if we need to reroute it, to make sure that there won't be any type of flood issues.
So you haven't done a survey yet?
We have not done
Okay.
it.
Has
We-
our Public Works Director been included in these talks? 'Cause we have a very large drainage pipe that runs right down that road all the way to the river that we've been putting a lot of money into the last several years. And it's not too far from the topsoil in some spots down there.
I don't,
Lauren's been involved in the latest emails back and forth. He has copies of all the applications.
Okay.
Huddleston McBride is one of the, I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're well known in Illinois as drain tile experts. So we've used them. Another company called Pinion, and you know, so every inch of that drain tile, we will make sure we have it surveyed and laid out before any type of construction.
The company also, under the AIMA, or the Agricultural Impact Mitigation Agreement, they take responsibility for any impacts to drainage, drain tiles, and how that impacts downstream properties or upstream properties. So that's gonna be on the life of the project.
Is it going to be somebody local that's going to be watching the area?
Our office is in Chicago, and our operations team essentially works out of that main office. So we do have monitoring systems that are 24/7. So if there's a failure of any kind, we should be able to pick up on it right away and address it.
So it's going to take 2 hours for someone from Chicago to travel down here to take care of the problem.
Not necessarily. Like I said, if we can contract local people to help out with the project, we will do that.
And there's no batteries on site to store the energy?
That's not our current intention, to use batteries. You know, batteries, storage is a option. You know, it does exist. The lease has an option for battery storage, but we're not planning on doing that at this time.
Direction you need from us tonight?
I, for one, need to study this a little bit more. I know that the hurried for this whole thing because of the grandfather in, but I need to look at this more myself.
hey, Mark, hit the lights, would you? I think we're done with this.
So is there other projects that you guys are eyeing that would defer you from us to somewhere else?
We have, like I said, we have 6 already in operation, and we have hundreds in the pipeline, and there's at least 6 right now that we're getting permitted. It's not an easy thing because of that hosting capacity that I talked about before. There needs to be that availability on the grid to be able to connect. So these locations are not chosen lightly. You know, we do a lot of work, research before picking a site, and each one becomes important because of that.
Okay.
I noticed there's no substation here like you usually see. Where do you plan on tying in at?
I don't know the physical location of it.
Well, the plan says one, possibly more.
It's identified in the application for the interconnection agreement. I can get back to you on that. I don't know exactly where it is right now offhand. But
I'm just usually used to seeing a substation close, and we don't have one out there.
Where would your transmission lines run?
We don't tie into like transmission lines. We tie into distributed generation. So that would be the lines that you see on the side of the road. Those are the ones we would tie into.
Okay, lack of a better term, on your plans, where would you run them out of the solar farm at?
Well, the access road is, they would come along, there would be three to six poles from the access road of the project that would tie into the nearest pole that's on the side of the road.
I believe that's gonna be Route 24, if I'm not mistaken.
The one's going down PP&W.
Yeah. I think that's the closest one.
There's not one going down Cemetery Road?
There is coming from,
That comes down cable line.
Not a major one, no. Probably.
see, some of that could be
So
RDA.
the access road is kind of a little bit on the west side of the parcel. And so it would tie in over there. It's a bit down the road from the driveway into the cemetery.
I'm not opposed to it, I'm just not sold on it today. With more questions and understanding better myself.
We probably need to study a little bit more in order to make like a more informed decision, so that we can discuss it and then maybe get back with Eric and then get back to you guys.
Sure. Like I said, I'm available to answer any questions whenever you guys just, you could put them together in one document if you like, or however, or just have me contacted directly. I can come back at any time if you want to have another meeting. More than happy to do that.
So I guess another question is when you tie this in and you're going to jump to a pole, you're going to go underground, correct?
That
Go
is
underground until you hit that pole and you're going to tie it in right there.
If your code requires it, that's what we'll do.
So then who's responsible for marking that? Is it going to be you guys? Is it going to be Julie?
If you say that you want underground tie-in, we would.
Okay, the project's done. And there's somebody that's going to be digging there. And you guys ran wires underneath to attach to the pole.
Mhm.
Who's going to mark it? Is it going to be you guys or Julie?
I'm sure we can work that out. We could probably do it.
I think most of it's overhead.
Yeah, I do too.
I'd have to talk to our engineering folks about that, just to understand, and along with Ameren to determine who needs to do that. But we would certainly know where they are, where they're going to be. There's going to be a plan for that.
In addition, do you provide as-built drawings as well to
Yes.
the city of Watseka? So
Yes.
that's on hand as well, if needed.
This is just for the non-ministerial permit. There's going to be a whole other building permit process. And that's where all this comes into play. All the construction details will be there. And there'll be different phases of the actual plan, from 10% all the way to 100.
So you're looking tonight for permission to do an assessment?
We're looking for permission for the special use of building a solar project there. That doesn't mean, we won't be getting the building permit until later down the road. There is another process to get a building permit.
Right.
And I think tonight
Mhm.
is maybe, I don't know if it needs to be a formal motion, but to move this onto the planning commission and for consideration of the annexation, the variance, and the special use permit application, then at that time, I think the process begins and all of the questions, all of the presentation, all of the evidence then is presented at public hearing and questions, you know, the public is welcome to attend, it's noticed in the newspaper, and then we would just start that process. Whether it gets approved
Right.
is then a result of that process.
Okay, that makes more sense to me. And-
Yes.
It could go to the planning commission next.
Yeah.
Planning commission, just in talking with Joe Pankar, he recommended the zoning commission. The city code says zoning commission needs to hear, but he explained that the planning commission takes on the role of the zoning commission, so that
They
was
have two
helpful
different
for me to
commissions.
We have a
understand
planning
that.
commission and a zoning.
It's a process.
We have both,
Yeah.
zoning and
Okay.
planning. Okay,
Again, the estimated taxes, it says 471,900, so in other words, 472,000. You said that's over the 35 years?
Yes. That's a
That's not
simple
annually?
calculation.
no, it's not annually, it's
That's
over the
So
35 years.
roughly
That's
about
total. It's total,
The
yeah.
school district's approximately 50%. So divide that in half. We're talking 236,000. Divide that by 35 years. We're talking what, or about $6,000 a year in taxes,
Mhm.
revenue off
Yes.
of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
There you go.
That's the way
I look
at it.
One of them houses out there's paying more than that.
A house paying more than that? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
In
How
this
can a
area,
house be-
yeah,
Oh, you're talking
Couple
about
of
that
'em out there.
mansion that's out there?
yeah.
Okay. That one, yeah, I saw that one when I drove in.
But it's still better than
I
nothing.
was wondering which one of you owned that one.
We're not here,
Yeah, they're out of state limits.
they're out of city limits. Okay, I think we
Yeah.
are done with this information. We don't need to, I think we're all, right, we got enough?
I got enough
Yeah, I
information,
just need
yeah.
to study more.
Yeah.
Do they need permission moved to the, for us to give it to the
The planning
planning
commission, you're right,
But if we want to proceed that far,
if we want to proceed next.
I, for one, don't want to hand it to him yet because I want to do some more research.
That's fair.
But
Okay,
that's just my personal opinion.
okay.
No, that makes sense, I agree. Okay.
And then also let us know if you'd like to hear directly from the landowners. We're, of course, working in partnership with the landowners, and they would like to see this project happen.
Of course.
So we're happy to make that introduction, especially at the hearing process.
I did not print out the entire packet for you, Terry. I can get that to you. It's a lot of pages. So anybody wants the entire packet, you're welcome to it for sure.
Okay,
Email is fine.
we're good, Nick?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right, sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, moving on. 1213 and 1215 Sugar Creek Court. We've got demolition orders on those properties. We do not own either one yet, but we do have the demolition orders, and as of August the 17th, they could be demolished. I've talked to Public Works, and they think it's a simple thing to have Public Works handle that. They're in very poor shape. Roofs are caving in on both of them. If you guys are in agreement, have Public Works take them down and get rid of them.
Absolutely.
Take these down before we own them?
We'll put a lien, we're gonna own the one, we're buying it from the county trustee, and we'll put a lien on the other one. And there's already liens on both of them for the cleanup of the brush and debris and garbage. Any more discussion?
No discussion on my part. We need a motion.
We need a motion and a second
Motion and a
for demolition of those two properties, or the two buildings.
Shall move.
Okay, we have a,
Motion. I need a second.
Did you say you're doing second? Okay, I'll second it.
Okay.
We have roll call, please.
DeWitt,
Yes.
Mensch,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Pence,
Yes.
Garfield,
Yeah.
Miller,
Yes.
Rolfs.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
roll call carried.
400 North Jefferson, we talked about this a little bit last month. This has been ongoing for well over a year now. You know, he's got some damaged trusses in the building, and I'm requiring an engineer to sign off on the repairs on those. He's still making that argument. One of his arguments is he can't find an engineer. I can understand that. But then the other argument is that, you know, he thinks that he should just be able to fix it, and I would then approve or not approve the fix. Well, you know, it's a truss roof, you know, it's designed by an engineer. I really feel that the fix should be designed by an engineer, and he would build it to that design then. So, hearing officer Brian Hyatt, you know, he gave him 90 days. That's plenty of time to go out and find an engineer. He says he's talking to one in Mokina now, so hopefully he can get that gentleman on board and proceed to a permit. So I just threw that on there to bring you up to date. And then 113 South Leverage Lane, this is a petition for variance. They're doing an addition on the back of the house, and with the R2 zoning, they need a 20-foot rear yard setback, and they're asking to have a variance to reduce that to 10 feet. So our hearing is on the 19th, and this will be in front of council on the 26th.
So we don't have to vote anything today, right?
Nothing today.
All right.
Just bringing you up to date on what's going on there. And then I have nothing else unless you guys have an inquiry for me.
Is there any questions for Eric?
Nope.
Is there any questions for Shane?
Keith, did you want to make any updates on any projects we're doing? Would you like to do that now? Please state your name for the record.
Keith Mulholland, Robinson Engineering. So the projects that are going on right now, actually, unfortunately for the school, I did talk to IPC today. They're having a staffing meeting tomorrow, and I'm pushing them to have the sidewalk replaced in front of the school, at least from the football field to the south down to Martin Avenue. They did start working on services today. I don't know if they've got the service into the school yet, but that's a 4-inch line that they have the valve for, and they just need to make the connection. The road, they've been working on paving and patching down there as well. So we've been holding off on opening Martin Avenue until some of the additional construction work gets done. We don't want people out there while they're still doing patching and paving. So those are 2 big jobs down there right now, and then we're getting ready to get the Cherry Street off to IDOT, so then we'll have that. I'm not sorry, Cherry. 5th to 8th. It is Cherry, yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And then I did meet with Lauren yesterday about the alignment for the 2nd Street and Cherry Street water main project, so we'll be getting that off to the EPA very shortly for permitting.
Okay. Any questions for Keith?
I see we've got some work started over the park.
Yes, that's going to be for the workout pad that'll be out there. The water main for the splash pad has already been submitted to the EPA. We're just waiting to get that reviewed and approved by them.
And then the other water main project, is Lauren giving you any start date? Elm Street?
I don't have a start date from him on that yet. So what I'm doing right now is the EPA has updated what they call their front-end documents, so I have to update our specs to match that. They just updated that earlier this year. That project will include that piece of 8th Street, and then it'll include Elm Street up to Sycamore. That will be set out for bidding, and he will take it from Brianna all the way to Sycamore. So I don't have a start date on that from him yet.
Okay, and I see they started drilling on the new well.
Yes. Yeah, they had a little hang up at the state police with the weight of their vehicle yesterday, but
A little heavy, huh?
a little bit heavy. So, yeah, that well, if you've been out there before, the test well was towards the back center of the property. This is about 10 feet to the west. The thought is to leave the east side of the property open for some future municipal building.
Okay, Very good. Any more comments for Keith? Thank you, Keith. Thank you for the update.
All right. Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Move. Second.
All right.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What about Shane's report?
Oh, where is Shane?
Sitting right here.
Shane. How'd we forget Shane?
Who missed him?
I don't really have a whole lot to report. I provided this report to you folks for review for the last 3 months. By and large, things are moving along. Chief Starkey made mention of the ordinance being modified. We'd had a conversation about that. That was, for the most part, finalized. We were informed yesterday that we're going to have to put that off until next month. The reason being, for either myself or anybody else in code enforcement going forward, to do this job, there's 3 things we have to have from the Secretary of State. That is a license plate, a VIN, and a title search completed before the vehicle can be disposed of. For me to have access to that information through leads, I found out that the ordinance has to include myself being monitored by the chief of police directly for that to take place. So we need to continue with the modification of that before we submit it. So I would think by next month that should be ready to go.
I have a question, and I don't know if you can answer me or not. Do you have any dates for the old Nettie Davis School?
So right now, we are in conversation specifically with Senator Balkema. It may end up looking a little bit longer than what we had thought. So right now, we were in the abatement process. We're looking at potentially destruction and removal within the next several months. As of right now, we may have some state reimbursement or coverage for the entire thing, which would save us several $100,000. That may put us back a few more months. So as of right now, we are at the state's mercy. We've got the ball rolling. Senator Balkema has been great towards us, and fingers crossed, get it done by the spring. If we were to proceed right now, we could, but then we wouldn't be able to get reimbursed. We have to go on their timeline with their funds, and they ultimately may end up purchasing the land and doing it themselves and then giving it back to the city. So we'll have an update for you as soon as we know more. It's been an exciting last month and a half as we've kind of gotten to this. Unfortunately, we've had to put pause while we wait for the state to give the stamp of approval. We see no reason why they won't, but we have to play on their timeline right now.
Okay. One reason why I'm asking is I don't think it's been mowed for probably 3 weeks. And there's a lot of volunteer trees coming up around the outside, looking kind of on the shabby side.
Noted. Thank you.
You have nothing for us, Shane?
Nothing further.
All right.
According to what I'm seeing, Shane and Eric both, you guys have been very aggressive.
Yeah.
And it's greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not an easy job.
No,
I've had worse.
both of you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. All right. So need an motion to adjourn the meeting.
Officially adjourned.
Officially adjourn the meeting right now.
You adjourned, Danny?
We're adjourned.
Okay.
Once, twice.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.